all know or understand that education, higher education, is really essential for, I would say, as a driving force for the economy afterwards. In higher education depends or relies on research and teaching, yes? And, you know, both, I would say, are, or it's a must in both cases, to remember two things: that students and researchers have complete freedom of expression and academic freedom. Without it, I think that the whole, I would say, structure of education collapses. Academic freedom, this means that doesn't matter who supports you financially, finally you do your own research. Otherwise, a lot of the ideas might be in a way hidden, not expressed. Freedom of speech is a bit different, and this gives the I would say, the faculty and the students the possibility to say whatever they have on their mind. Now, this is more sensitive than academic freedom because here governments come in. And you know, this happens worldwide. And it's much more convenient for governments to say, you know, you can express A and not express idea B. We lucked out in Israel that in spite of the tough geopolitical situation, we do maintain freedom of speech. Not always.
In universities?
I would say, I'm talking only about the university now.
Right.
Yes, in the media, this exists.
Yeah.
But don't forget that we are sponsored by the government. Our main sponsor of all universities is the government. So I'm not saying that the government is also happy with what students and faculty say. They even comment on this from time to time, but we very, very strongly defend it. And I think that, you know, the definition of freedom of speech is, even if it really drives me nuts, still I have to listen to it. Now, it's very important for us to maintain it because what derives from it directly is the academic freedom. And they both really coexist, although, as I said, they are not completely the same. So, you know, countries where you don't have academic freedom of speech, I think that there is a strong correlation between their, I would say, you know, cultural development and also scientific development. So this is in a nutshell.
So in Israel again, or in your university, do you draw any boundaries at all? Particularly, let's say, when someone wants to criticize the state and in a fairly vituperative manner?
Yes, we do defend it, and I must say that I even defend those ideas that I'm very strongly against, because this is the definition of freedom of speech.
So someone could question, let's say, the formation of Israel as an academic, as a student, but that would not be held against.
So we have to listen to him or her. You know, there is even a more extreme limit. You know that these days there are institutions, mainly in the west of Israel, I mean, that call to boycott Israel and boycott the academia in Israel, which is actually completely, doesn't have any logic because academia is a bridge, always plays a bridge. And the question is, if comes a university professor and says, you know, I am supporting the boycott on academia. So he or she actually cut the branch on which they sit. What do you do? So, you know, you won't be surprised to hear that I'm against it. Nevertheless, we let them speak. We don't encourage them, but we don't stop them. And there is a lot of criticism on us because they said, you know, we pay their salaries. How can they boycott the employer? Yes, in a company it won't happen. But I think that once you start putting these limitations, you don't know where it ends. Yes.
So how do you ensure this continuing freedom and the continuing sense of independence, and how do you ensure that you know, students are given their space and protected in some ways from all of this outside world?
You know, once it's part of your DNA, once it's part of your culture, it makes it easier. It makes it easier. You know, and until now we have not broken any of these, I would say, rights that we gained, yes? So from this point of view, yes, here and there we are criticized. Sometimes even, you know, it's a stronger criticism. But I would say that I don't want to take credit for being bravely defending it, but we do defend it and it works. And I'm telling you, again, the strong understanding is that once we start biting into this freedom, yes, it will. Later on, we will be told what to research, and this is, I think, not the end, but a very slippery slope for losing our edge as an innovation center or innovation country, or as we are known as startup nation. Yeah.
Right. And is there the one exciting or interesting innovation that came out in the last?
Innovations, you know, this is more on a personal level. Yes, we have quite a lot. We have new discoveries on what it means to have a memory which is driven by environment and not necessarily within your genetic code. We have, for instance, something more practical immediately, a multispectral camera on a smartphone which succeeded in raising a very substantial fund recently, and this is also important as a sensor for materials, sensor for cars in the future, and so you know, I'll tell you that the university is large, and since we don't regulate the faculty, there are probably many other inventions that I don't even know about.